As we start, as we begin, there's always a bit of thought around that. For me, I can feel there's some excitement, some anticipation. So notice what's happening in your own system right at the moment. And I've really encouraged everyone to work with this in a way that's nourishing and nurturing for them. It's so easy for us to go into kind of a hard line around something like this. And really, sometimes what we need is a much softer approach. So people will be coming and going. And those of us that are here right now might have an intention to practice silence for the full 24 hours. And that could look like a lot of different things. Some people don't have the kind of space in their personal lives to really do 24 hours without speaking. And some people might be doing periods of meditation and silence interspersed with other activities. Let's take a couple of minutes to tune into what our plan is and what is our intention. Every time we do a practice, it's really good to have an intention for the practice. So let's just notice what your intention is as we begin this retreat. Is there something in particular that you would like to focus on? Maybe a mindfulness practice, maybe kindness. Just notice what comes up when you think about your intention for this 24 hours. I have a few that I would like to include in the group of people that wrote me but can't be here in person right at this moment. They'll be here in and out later. So one of them is Elaine from Alberta in British Columbia in Canada. And her intention is to focus on peace in the world during this 24 hours. And Anna from the Netherlands is going to focus on practicing loving silence. She had planned to be here with us and fell earlier. So I'd just like to include some healing energy for her. And another woman said that she would like to be present and deepen into more stillness. I have a friend, Sutra, who's in a lot of pain right now. And I would like to include her in this circle. my own intention around the practice today is to be present. And I'm really here with such gratitude and appreciation for the daily practices, for the people who practice together, for how we're deepening, and this connection that we have. So I'm feeling a lot of gratitude and appreciation as we begin. If anyone else would like to share their intention, that's an invitation. Feel free to not. If you'd like to, feel free to do that. You could just take yourself off mute.
My intention is to practice, perhaps called mindfulness, but specifically the observer part of that, and not default to either overexcitement or being down.
Thank you.
For me, it's just for this period of time, just a willingness to see the just the stress energy in the body and what's going on in my life in a different way, just
Mm-hmm.
kind of like a different lens or something. Yeah.
Right. Well, we'll have lots of relaxation practices, so that will be interesting to see how that evolves. Yes, thank you.
This is Nancy.
Hi.
Hi. I would like to set the intention for clarity and claiming peace in my own life and having a sense of direction for the next phase of my life. I'm in a lot of transition, and so I'm looking to get out of my own way so I can have some clarity and stop the chatter.
Mm-hmm. It's wonderful to do a practice like this when we're in transition, just to sit with whatever it is that's coming up. And yeah, welcome.
Thank you.
So before we go into silence, we're just sharing, if we like, sharing our intention for this period. And some of us will be doing the full 24 hours. Some of us will be doing parts of that. But whatever your intention is, if you'd like to share it, you're welcome to do that. And if not, that's fine too.
Well, I know I won't be doing the full 24 hours, but I'm going to do as much as possible. I do have to do some client work tomorrow, so we'll just see how that goes. But thanks for this. I appreciate it.
No, thank you. It's good that you're here. Yeah. With that, we'll go into silence. There are so many levels of silence that we could practice. And whatever levels that we're working with will be fine. One of the real foundations of a mindfulness or a meditative silence practice is kindness and working within our own capacity and working in a way that's nurturing to ourselves. And also being very intentional. It's a wonderful opportunity to take 24 hours or some parts in that and really settle in. We'll have lots of long relaxation practices, lots of sitting in silence, some walking meditations tomorrow, different things. And then at every 2 hours, we'll start fresh with a new practice. So starting from 6 p.m. Eastern. And about 15 minutes before each new practice, we'll take a break. And feel free to have your camera on and off or to tune in however you want to tune into this. It's fine. You can move around, do whatever you like. So let's start with a guided relaxation. It's great to do that in a longer period of time. We don't have to rush. Now, for anyone who is in a later time zone where it's evening, then you might be a little bit sleepy, and that's fine. Have a little rest, and I'm sure you'll come back to the group when at some point when you've had a little rest, or maybe when I say words like, if you've fallen asleep, bring yourself back. But often when we fall asleep for a little bit, it's just because we need some rest. So not to give yourself a hard time about that. So let's start with getting comfortable. If you want to lie down, this one's it's nice to do a relaxation lying down. You can have your camera off if you like, or on. Make sure that you get something that will keep you warm. So oftentimes when we're lying down like this, we get a bit cool, our body gets a bit cool. Might be nice to have a little pillow or something under your head, not too much, just enough to elevate a little bit. Lots of times people enjoy something under their knees. And you can sit if you like. But for these Shavasana is corpse pose actually in yoga. And what it means is that we're in a pose where we don't have to use any of our muscles to keep ourselves upright. And it allows a deeper level of relaxation. So as you're getting yourself settled, notice your comfort. Notice if there's something you could adjust, you could move around a little bit. Let yourself be supremely comfortable during the practice. And if that's not possible right now because of pain or some sensations in your body, which is very likely that some people will have that going on, then just get as comfortable as you can. Pain in the body has an impact for sure. We tend to tighten up against it. We always have lots of thoughts about it. So we're tuning in and doing what we can with what's going on right now. Getting ourselves as comfortable as possible. And bring your awareness to your whole body. Notice your body from head to toes. Notice your breath, the rhythm, the feeling of your body moving with your breath. Notice your thoughts. Notice the general environment in your body. If we're stressed about something, there might be tightness. There could be a certain kind of energy present in your body. Just notice your whole body and the energy in your body. And then the same for your mind. What's the general condition in your mind right now? Is it quite calm? Is there agitation or some compulsion trying to work something out? And over again in these practices, we're simply bringing ourselves back. We're noticing this is what it feels like right now. Oh, okay, I see. I got carried away in a train of thought, and now I'm bringing it back. And trying to work all the time with kindness, to really allow yourself to be present with whatever it is that's going on. And if you notice there's judgment around that, see if you can let that go. Bring your attention to your heart center for a moment. See if you can tune into that basic goodwill that we can have for ourselves. No matter what it is that's going on. And notice your sense of being a witness. The mind, which generally just has thoughts coming and going in it, can also be the tool of observation or witnessing. So set your intention that during this retreat, you'll make a practice of being very present, of observing that thoughts come and go, energy, sensations in the body come and go. We have reactions and responses to our experience, those come and go as well. And a big part of what we're doing during a retreat is to remain aware of what it is that's coming and going. And also to be aware of what it is that's not coming and going. And we will all have many times during the practices when we touch into stillness. There may be a sense of the space in which all of this is arising and coming and going. Maybe a sense of our own being, what it is that doesn't change. And of course, that's not something that we really know through our mind. And it is something that we can turn our attention towards as well. So we're really working on all of these levels body, the breath and energy, the thoughts in the mind, our intuitive knowledge, our heart, our emotions, our connection, our being. And take a few deeper breaths. Notice what it feels like to take your breaths. As you're breathing out, let yourself settle and soften. Just to be aware of that anchor of the breath. There's really only two movements in the breath. One is exhaling and one is inhaling. And the way our system is set up as we breathe out, there's a natural relaxation, softening. We're releasing the air that's used up to make room for the fresh air. What that feels like in the body is a kind of a settling back. The stomach settles back towards the spine. Our body relaxes a bit more. In the Himalayan meditation tradition, we always start by focusing on the out breath. First, we have to let go and empty out. Let go of what doesn't serve us anymore, whether it's the breath or ideas, something else. So notice what it feels like in your body right now to really settle into the support of the floor or the chair. Let your body be supported. The whole back of your body, the back of your neck and shoulders, behind and under the hips, your shoulders and the back of your arms, your hands, and the back of your legs down to your heels and your feet. One thing we know is that there's no need right now for action in the world. This is a time we can rest. Notice what it feels like to settle in and really accept the support of the structure, the floor, the chair. And then bring your attention to the top of your head. Notice your scalp and down into the forehead and the eyebrows. Just behind the forehead is where the brain is. Thoughts tend to be generated from there. So let's include the thoughts in the mind and the forehead and the eyebrows together. Starting with a focus on the forehead and softening the eyebrows. We have a lot of habits of tension through the forehead and eyebrows. And even if we don't normally feel tight through that part of our body, we might notice that we could soften it a bit more anyway. As you're focusing on that, notice the muscles in the center of the forehead and out to the temples, from the eyebrows up to the hairline. And as you allow them to soften, keep your attention on that for a moment, just the forehead and the eyebrows. And then working with the witness, the observer, notice your thoughts as well. We're focusing on the softening of the forehead and eyebrows, and we're also observing what thoughts are arising in the mind. If they have a lot of intensity or if they're pretty calm, they're just floating through the background. We'll do this for 2 or 3 minutes, just noticing your forehead and eyebrows and watching any thoughts that are coming and going. And something else might take your attention. Maybe you've gotten into a train of thoughts. Maybe something in your body wants to be noticed. You might have a pain or a sensation somewhere. Just keep bringing your attention back, softening as you exhale, letting your eyebrows soften, your forehead, and observing the energy of the thoughts as they come and go. And this would be a way that we could work with thought through the entire practice as well if we wanted. Noticing that it's coming and going, but not really giving it center stage like it usually has. Really focusing our attention on the part of the body, on the sense perceptions in that part of the body, relaxing the muscles, the energy. So notice now the sensation of air as it flows through your nostrils. And notice the muscles around the eyes, the eyelids, the deep muscles of your eyes as you follow this flow of breath. Notice the coolness of the inhale. The air is cooler when we breathe it in and then warmer after our body has warmed it. Notice what it feels like to have this flow of air over the membranes in the nose. And then notice your mouth, the corners of your mouth and your lips, your cheeks. Notice the whole face. We have no need for any expression. We're not communicating through our facial expression at the moment. So we could have some softness through the forehead and eyebrows, the eyes, the cheeks, and the mouth. And then bring your attention inside your mouth. If you move your tongue, we can notice there's that sensation. The tongue and the mouth are wet. We can feel our teeth. There's space above the tongue into the back of the throat. Notice all of those sense perceptions. And notice as well the hinges of your jaw. If there's any sense of clenching in the teeth. It feels good when there's a little bit of space between the upper jaw and the lower jaw so the teeth aren't actually touching. Let your sense of speech be at rest. There's often an energy in the jaw or the mouth. If that's the case, just to notice that. We're just noticing what it feels like to really soften through the face and the mouth, through the jaw. And what it feels like when the sense of speech is completely at rest, when there's no activity in our mouth at all. Even if thoughts are running through the mind, they're just thoughts that pop in, and we're not saying them to ourselves somehow with our mouth. Sometimes we have that kind of activity going on there. So let your whole face and head, the whole of your mouth and jaw, be really relaxed. Sometimes when we're practicing silence, there can be a bit of an energy there in the mouth, just knowing that we're not going to be talking. And then bring this attention from the face and the head down through to the neck and the throat. Notice the front of your neck, the sides of your neck and your shoulders. And we can notice if the muscles on the sides of our neck are relaxed. But also, there's often an energy in the throat. It's quite common for people to have that. So notice if that's happening there. We're not trying to do anything in particular, just our attention to it will, generally speaking, allow it to soften. Or sometimes words or pictures will come up when we focus on an energy, and that's fine too. Notice the front of your throat, the interior of your neck, and the sides of the neck, the muscles along the sides of your neck and shoulders. And bring your attention down through your arms, from your shoulders through the upper arms and down through the lower arms, into your hands and fingers, fingertips. Once again, returning to that knowledge that we're not using our arms and hands for action right now. We could let them relax. Notice the sensation in the palms might be different from the back of the hand. And then bring your attention back up into your head, and this time through the back of the neck and the shoulders. There's that little space in the back of the neck, and then the shoulders being supported by the floor or perhaps by a chair. And notice all of the large muscles on the back of the body, the upper back, between the shoulder blades, covering the rib cage at the back and the sides. And notice the movement of your body with your breath through the rib cage. Focus in on the movement and where it's located. If we're relaxed and breathing diaphragmatically, the movement won't be up in the chest, it will be lower down and towards the stomach. Notice the muscles that cover the chest, that cover the rib cage, and how the rib cage protects the heart and lungs. And bring your attention up to the top of your head and allow all of your face to soften, your throat and neck, down through the muscles of your chest, into your stomach area, the navel center, the lower belly. Allow all of those muscles and that part of your body to soften and relax. And allow your breath to become effortless. As your body relaxes, there's no resistance or tightness to the breath, being full and complete. And as our mind and nervous system relax, that also helps the breath to settle, become smoother, calmer. The idea of working with the breath is to allow our body to relax so that it can take over the practice of breathing, the movement of the diaphragm. Our bodies know how to breathe, and it's just habits of tightness or tension that get in the way. So notice this on a muscle level. As you're breathing in, there's an expansion, muscle fibers lengthen. And let yourself breathe out completely. Let your belly completely soften as you breathe out. And then bring your attention down through your hips as well into your upper legs, the muscles of the front, the back. Notice your knees and down into your lower legs. And notice again that your legs can be completely at rest. There's no need to go anywhere, do anything. Notice the soles of your feet, the tops of your feet and your toes. And once again, notice what it feels like to completely let go into the support of the floor or the chair. Let yourself really be supported in the environment that you're in. And often there are things that are preventing us from relaxing completely. It might be an energy in the body, it might be thoughts. So part of the practice is to notice that too and be okay with that without making ourselves wrong. We keep returning over and over again to whatever is. We probably notice that our muscles have gotten a bit tight, maybe through the forehead, maybe the jaw, the neck. And then as we notice, we soften, we let it go again. And notice once again what your whole body feels like from head to toes. And notice the transitory nature of that. Some people might have had a complete relaxation and it gets gradually deeper and it feels better and better through the practice. Other people might have been disturbed by thoughts or perhaps not wanting to be so still, maybe got up and moved around a bit. All of these experiences that happen can be observed, and we could let go of judging them or wanting them to be something that they're not. And if you feel absolutely relaxed and had a delicious relaxation practice, that's fine too. So we're going to take a couple of minutes to transition out of the practice. We're going to sit next, but take your time. Roll over onto your side. Usually the left side is best. Support your head with your arm. And notice the breath in your right nostril after a long relaxation practice, especially when we have time like we do today. It's really good to take your time coming out of the pose, coming out of the resting. Notice what it feels like in your body now compared to when you started. Scan your whole body from head to toes. Notice what's going on. Notice the flow of breath in your right nostril in particular. Pay attention to the whole of your body, especially your right side. The right side of our body has the solar energy, the more active energy. So as we're coming up into a more active state again, we're going to be sitting. It's nice to activate that more energetic, lively side of our body. And we want to remain completely relaxed as we're doing that. So make your way up to a sitting position, however that works for you. If you want to sit on a chair, on the floor, if you want to be supported, leaning back against something, just see for this practice, we're going to do alternate nostril breathing. So you want to have your head, neck, and trunk straight so that you can breathe, that your diaphragm muscle can move. And as you're getting settled, notice the feeling, the sensations in your body from head to toes. See if, even though now you're sitting up, if you could feel really solid and stable in this position. Ideally, the shoulders are over top of the hips. The feet, if you have them, your legs crossed, that's fine. Otherwise, maybe they could be solid as well on the floor. Let your feet really sense into the support of the floor. And if you're having problems with your back, or if you've been at a computer all day or something like that, it's fine to support your body. Lean back against some cushions or get yourself set up so that you can be comfortable. It's difficult to relax when our body hurts. And notice again the flow of breath in the nostrils. When we breathe in, one side of the nostrils generally feels more airflow, especially if you take kind of a deep breath in. Notice which nostril is more active. You could also block off one side and then the other. So we're going to do alternate nostril breathing by blocking off one side of the nose with the ring finger, the other side with the thumb. You can have your index finger and middle finger tucked inside your hand if you want. You can have them resting up on your forehead. Either way, you want to have your head, neck, and trunk straight. So you don't want to be kind of leaning forward at all. You need that straight, long neck. So we're going to do several rounds of this. There's several different patterns that we could do, but let's just do a simple one tonight as we get started with the retreat. We'll do some other ones tomorrow. So the idea is to let your awareness flow between the eyebrow center down through one side to where the nostrils meet the upper lip and then come back up to the eyebrow center. So you're allowing that flow of breath and awareness to be the same And then we're going to start with breathing through the active nostril. So starting with an exhalation, block off your passive nostril, the one that doesn't have as much airflow. And just exhale and inhale through your active nostril. And as you're doing that, let your attention flow with your breath. If this is an unfamiliar practice, there might be a kind of a feeling of it being a bit weird and not being able to relax into it too much. Just let yourself do it however it happens. Let your attention flow with your breath from the eyebrow center to the base of the nose and then back. And as you finish the next inhalation, change sides. Now block off the active nostril, and you can leave a little bit open if you're having trouble with enough air, if you've got congestion. Block off the active and then just breathe, exhale and inhale through your passive nostril. Keep your mind focused on that flow between the eyebrow center and the base of the nose and back. Next exhalation, switch to the active nostril again. Exhale from the eyebrow center to the base of the nose. Let your attention and your breath flow smoothly, effortlessly through the active nostril. Relax your forehead, your jaw, the neck and shoulders. Let your body be relaxed. Next exhalation, switch. Exhale and inhale through the passive nostril again. Let your attention flow with the breath. And then taking your time, next exhalation, switch again, active nostril. Allow your breath to be effortless and smooth, continuous, relaxed. Really focus on that inhale and what it feels like to bring in the new breath. Next exhalation, switch again to the passive nostril. Shoulders relaxed, body upright. And then bring your hand down and allow yourself to focus on the flow of the breath equally in both nostrils. So even if the breath isn't exactly the same, let your attention flow evenly with both nostrils. Eyebrow center to the base of the nose and back. There's a universal mantra, a sound that we use sometimes to help focus the mind, to bring us into meditation. So, as you're focusing on that flow of breath, as you're inhaling, allow the sound to come into your mind and focus on the sound. So, and as you're exhaling, focus on the sound, hum, and let your mind flow with the breath and the sound. Inhaling, so, exhaling, hum, inhaling, so. Just let your breath flow. Feel the air as it's flowing in both nostrils. Let your attention flow between the eyebrow center and the base of the nose. And let the sound be in your mind flowing with your breath. Inhaling, so, exhaling, hum, inhaling, so. Just let that be even and smooth. Keep a bit of attention on your whole body. Allow that softness through your body. Periodically check your forehead and eyebrows, especially if your mind is wandering. Check your jaw and your mouth. Move your body around for a minute if you need to. And then settle in and really focus. Let your shoulders relax. Inhaling, so, exhaling, hum. Let your mind be very focused on that flow of energy and breath, on the sound that's flowing in your mind with your breath. And very gradually, let your attention focus more on that central channel between the eyebrow center and the base of the nose, right where they meet the upper lip. As though your breath and energy and that sound were traveling along a thin stream of light. Inhaling, so, exhaling, hum. Focus completely on that movement of the breath and energy and on the sound. And gradually let even that awareness of the breath and the sound flowing in the mind become quieter and quieter. Remain observant about what's happening if you're noticing thoughts. And just straighten yourself up again, straighten your posture. refocus again on your breathing and on the sound. And sometimes we have to do that every few seconds. Sometimes we have a calmer experience. Just keep coming back to the silence, to the resting over and over again. If your body is hurting or causing trouble, if you're in pain or something, for instance, then always feel free to move around to adjust your pose. If you're feeling a bit sleepy, it could help to stand and move around as well, maybe. We're going to sit together for about another 40 minutes. And if that's not something that you want to do, then don't do it. Just get up and move around, maintain whatever silence you want to maintain. And if you want to sit, then do that. over the next minute or two, bring yourself back. If you want to get up and move around or whatever it is that you'd like to do, I'll be back in about 15 minutes. I'd love to see you back again.